Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Inside Outline Shaker Cake Topper class. In this class, I will be showing you how to make a Super Mario Shaker Cake Topper. And I am trying to make sure that I have my technology all set up, so give me just a second to make sure everything is running right. I have my phone over here and my laptop and my camera. Good morning. If you all can hear me, let me know in the chat. Say hello and let me know where you are tuning in from in the chat. I'm trying to make sure my technology is all set up. I have my laptop and my phone and my camera, so I want to make sure everything is working well for you all before I get started. So let me know in the chat where you are logging in from and if you can hear me okay. So I am based in Little Rock, Arkansas. For those who don't know me, my name is Bird, and I am the creator behind Inside Outline, where I show you how to use your Cricut machine to make a variety of projects. Thank you, Candace. So yeah, I have been doing this since 2018, and I absolutely enjoy it. I love making videos for you all to show you how to make a variety of projects. This shirt that I'm wearing right now, I actually made it for my birthday back in March. I went on a girls trip to Miami with some friends, and I made all of us the same shirt. So yeah, welcome again. So it is past 10 o'clock now, and I am just going to get started. I did send you all the SVG files for this shaker cake topper. If you have those, you can go ahead and open it up in Design Space. If you do not have the SVG files yet, I'm going to drop a link in the chat that you can use. Hey Candace, you're in Northwest Arkansas. Hey girl, I'm right down the road in Little Rock. So yeah, I'm going to drop a link to those SVG files in the chat. Give me just a second so that I can send you all the link to the SVG files. Okay. Okay, give me just a second. But I hope that you all are doing well on this Saturday morning. The weather is really nice here in Arkansas, so I'm very thankful for that. If you don't have Cricut Design Space open already, you want to go ahead and open that up. You want to make sure that you have all of your supplies set up, and I'm going to show you all the supplies I'm going to be using in just a second. I did go ahead and cut out all the pieces for this cake topper, but you should still be able to follow along with me. I'm going to assemble the cake topper on screen, so you shouldn't have any issues following along with me as I put the cake topper together. So I just have my phone up here. I'm going to send that link, that Dropbox link, to you all in the chat. Copy that. Come back over here. Okay, I'm sending this from my personal YouTube or Gmail account. So that link should be coming through in just a second. If you don't have the SVG files downloaded, I just sent a Dropbox link. You should see that popping up in just a second. If you are on my email list, you received those email files or the SVG files last night. So just go ahead and yeah, so you should see R Bird in the chat. If you don't have the link to the SVG files, open up that Dropbox link and download the SVG files. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen now so that we can start putting this cake topper together. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen right now. And as you can see, I already have the pieces of this cake topper on Cricut Design Space. I'm going to show you how to upload that from that SVG file. So what I'm going to do is to click the upload button and then click upload image. And what I'm going to do from here is to click on my Finder window, and you can see I have this is the file that you should have access to. It is the Inside Outline Mario Shaker Cake Toppers SVG file. If it's in a zip file, if you have a Windows computer, you should be able to right click on it and then click extract all. If you have a Mac computer, you should just be able to double click on that zip folder and it should open up a new folder just like this one. So I'm going to open up this folder, and first what I'm going to do is to upload the Nintendo Switch. So I'm just going to drag this and drag it over to Design Space. This is a preview of what it looks like, and then I'm going to click upload. Okay, so you can see that Nintendo Switch right here, but what I'm going to do is to just upload all of our pieces first, and then we're going to come back over and start actually putting this cake topper together on or in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to click upload image again, and just click on those Super Mario font letters and drag that over to Design Space. Also, you can see all of those letters. I hope that you do have a name or an age or something prepared to put onto your cake topper. The one that I'm using, it says Samuel level 9, which indicates a birthday. So again, just going to click upload image, and you can go through the browse and search for your images on your computer. I just like opening my Finder window and dragging those pieces over into Design Space. So lastly, I'm going to click on this Super Mario image, as you can see over here on the right side. Click that and drag it into Design Space. And right here, I'm just going to click complex. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. So I'm going to click complex here and then click continue. I'm not going to make any changes on this screen. So then I'm just going to click apply and continue. And then you want to be sure to click on print then cut. If I did not mention this before, or if I did not mention this in my email, this is a print then cut cake topper. The Mario, like this background that you see right here, we're gonna print then cut that, and there are also a couple other print then cut pieces of this cake topper. If you don't have a printer, you can obviously adapt this cake topper to your liking. So right here, make sure that print then cut is selected and then click upload. And then there is one more piece that I need to bring in, which is the Mario icon of him jumping. I'm going to show you how to pull that image from Google Images. So I'm going to click on my web browser, close out of that. And so right here, all that I did was to type in Mario jumping. And you can see that I have this Mario right here selected. And this, all that I did, I'm going to exit out of here. I just clicked on this Mario right here. If you can see my mouse in the bottom left corner, click on that. And then I'm going to right click and then click save image as. Good morning, you're from Miami. Hello, everybody that's coming in. Please let me know where you're joining from. I'm based in Little Rock, Arkansas. I see I have some Candace, she's from Northwest Arkansas. Paisley, she's from London. I have someone from Miami as well. Elisa. Nini asked the question, will this be able to be viewed later? Yes, you will be able to view this video later. All you have to do is go back on my YouTube channel and you will be able to watch this video later. So again, I'm just going to name this Mario Jumping. and then click save. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to Design Space now. Hi Nene, you're from Fort Lauderdale. Welcome. I have my South Florida people in the room. Keithville, Louisiana. Okay. So I'm going to click upload image and then click on that Mario jumping file that we just downloaded, and I'm going to drag that into Design Space. I'm going to click over into Design Space now. I'm going to click complex here and then click continue. What I want to do here is to get rid of all of that white space in the background so that Mario will be left. So all that I will do is to click in that white space, and it's not working for me right now, but let's click. I think there's something going on with my Design Space. Okay, there it is. His gloves are missing. Oh no. So I'm gonna try to see if I can restore his gloves. So I just went down over to manual and I clicked on restore right here. So I'm going to try to just restore his gloves to the best of my ability. You can also use a background tool remover to do this, and if you have Cricut Access, they will remove the background for you as part of your subscription. But I'm just going to try to fill this in, and all that I'm doing is to move my mouse, and I'm going to zoom in some for you, is to move my mouse over where his gloves are to fill in that piece. Okay, so then I'm going to click on preview cut image, and that looks pretty decent. I don't like all of those sharp edges around him, but for the sake of this video and for the sake of time, I'm just going to advance with this image. So I'm going to click apply and continue, and this is what Mario looks like up here. So I'm going to click on print then cut. Chris, hello Chris, how are you? So you should have gotten an email from me with the SVG files in it. If you did not get that link or that email, I did share a Dropbox link from my personal account that's in the chat right here. It should say rbird, and then there's a Dropbox link there. I'm gonna put it in the chat again, and hopefully you'll be able to just open that from your device and download the SVG files. And you will be able to watch this video later. Once this video has ended, you will be able to watch it again on YouTube. And I sent that email last night that has the SVG files. So go back and look for that email from me from last night. Okay, so print then cut image and then click upload. So now we have all of our pieces in Cricut Design Space. And what I'm going to do is to just click on each one, and then I'm going to add it to Canvas. Okay. And for those who are just joining me, over here on the right side, this is what I already have. And I'm just showing you the process from the SVG files that I sent you all, and how to adjust everything accordingly. So what I'm going to do is to just click on Mario, make him a little bit smaller and move him out of the way. Click on this big image. Gonna reduce the size to about 4 inches. Okay. And for my letters over here, gonna bring those down. Trying to make some room on my screen here for you all. Okay, so this over on the right side, this is what you want to be, and over here on the left side, I'm just showing you the process for how to get there. Okay, so I'm gonna minimize my screen just a little bit. All of this stuff that I have had on the screen previously, I'm just going to select it and move it over, so that I can show you all how to put everything together. Okay, so what you're going to do with the letters is to ungroup them and basically spell out whatever name or age or saying that you want to, okay? So for Samuel, you know, I took the S, I'll just click on it, bring it up, A, M, the U, E, and the L, okay? Good morning from Philadelphia. Thank you all for joining me. There is a link in the chat for Dropbox that has the SVG files. So if you don't have the SVG files already, you want to be sure to click on that link so that you can get the SVG files. Okay. So then I'm going to type out or put together the letters for level 9. So I'm just going to make a duplicate of this L and bring it over. Make a duplicate of this E. Okay. Actually, I need 2 E's. Okay. Bring that over. Take the V, move it up, and then I'm going to make another duplicate of the L and bring that over also. So those are all the letters that I need. So I'm just going to delete the rest of the letters. And then I'm going to scroll down and get my number 9. Okay, so then I'm going to select the rest of the letters and delete those, or the rest of the numbers and delete those. Okay, so now it's slowly starting to come together. Going to select all of these letters, right, or letters and numbers right here. Click align at the top, and then I'm going to click align top just so that they will all be level. Going to select all of these pieces and move them closer together. And I'm just using the selecting all the letters using the left arrow key on my keyboard to move them over. Okay. And once you get everything like you want it, you can change the colors then when you're ready. But I'm going to go over to my letters for the name and just repeat the same process. Select all the letters, click align top, and then just use my left arrow key to move the letters over to my liking. Okay. And you can also use your mouse to drag the letters over if you like to do that better. Okay, so after I do this, what I want to do next is to change the color of my letters. These letters will be print and cut. If you do not have a printer to where you can print and cut, you can obviously just cut the letters off and glue them on individually. But I'm going to show you how to do the print and cut method. So for Samuel, the S is going to be blue. I'm just going to use the colors that I have used over here before. So S is blue, the A is yellow. Oops. The A is yellow, M is red, the U is green, and you can also do that over here in the color sync. So over on the right panel, right underneath make it, if you want to just click color sync, and you could also move some of your pieces around to the different colors where you want them. But just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to click on each individual letter and change the color of it. Okay. And if you all have any questions, y'all can just drop those down in the chat and I will respond to you. So I'm just going to continue on and change these colors of these different pieces. And I will tell you to be sure that you are saving this project. I would not want you to put all of this work in to have Cricut Design Space crash and then all your hard work is gone. So I'm just going to go up top right now and save it. If you don't have the project name saved already, as you can see up top, I have Cricut Class Super Mario Shaker Cake Topper. Save it, save the name for whatever you want, and you can always come back and start working on this cake topper again. Or if you want to, if you want to make it for somebody else, you could change the name and the age and, basically reuse the same design. So what I'm going to do now is to click the name Samuel, go up to offset, and then I am going to create an offset. I'm just dragging the dial over to the left a little bit. Okay, so now I can see the offset around the name Samuel. Once I get it to how I want it, I'm going to click apply. And I like how that looks. So what I'm going to do is to click on that offset, and I'm going to make a duplicate because this is a basically a 3D cake topper. So this is going to, I'm just going to move it to the side really quickly. So what I'll do first is to select the offset and the letters in Samuel and then click flatten, because this will now be a print and cut, as you can see over here in the layers panel. Okay, and so this offset right here is going to be behind it, and we're going to use our double-sided little foam squares to give it that 3D effect. Okay, so I'm just going to make one more duplicate of that offset and bring it down, right click and send to back. So Samuel is all done now. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with level 9. I'm going to select all of those letters, click offset, and I think that offset is what I want it to be, and then I'll click apply. Going to go over and click the duplicate button in the top right corner and bring it down here. Now I can select the offset and all the letters and the number, and then click flatten, and you will see now that it has been changed to print and cut. Okay, so I will make one more duplicate of level 9, bring it down here, going to click on this one, this print and cut piece, and right click and then click bring to front. Okay, so what I'll do now is to just select all 3 of those or all 4 of those pieces, click align and then center. Okay, so all of those pieces are back there. When it comes to Mario, I want 3 total copies of Mario. So I'll just click on Mario and then click duplicate and then duplicate again. Just drag those down here. Oops. Okay, so those 3 are gonna cut separately. So that's print and cut. And then I'm just gonna pull or ungroup this Nintendo Switch. So I'll go up top and click ungroup. Okay, so this red piece will be cut using cardstock. This blue piece will be cut using cardstock. Just gonna drag this out of the way. And then we have this, this is basically the screen portion of the cake topper or of the Nintendo Switch. So we're gonna leave that as it is. This is the background pieces, and again, the reason why we have multiple background pieces, you should have 3 total, is to give this cake topper a 3D effect. Okay, so I'm just gonna move those pieces back up. And one more thing that I need to do is to resize this image right here so that it can fit within the screen of the Switch. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, move my zoom over a little more, and then just minimize this image a little bit. And you want the image to be wide enough to where it covers up that screen. So over here you can see I have some extra white space. We don't want that. And it also looks like I have some extra white space on the top and bottom. Really quickly, I'm just going to slice that off. So I'm going to click shapes and then add a square. Make a duplicate of that square. And then take one of the squares, unlock it using the unlock button at the top right here between the size, the width, and the height. And then I'm just going to drag the corners down, and I'm going to cut off a little bit of the image. So the SVG file is, I'm going to paste a link to it. If you're on my email list, I did send a link to the SVG files. If you're not on my email list, I have posted that link in the chat. I'm going to repost that link again. Give me just a second. Okay. And you will see that link from our bird. That is my personal, that's my personal YouTube account. So I just posted that link in the chat, Linda. So hopefully you can see that and access the SVG file. Okay, so going to drag this out a little bit more because the image needs to be, it needs to be a little bit wider. So how about I just do that? So just disregard everything that I was gonna do with the slicing of the, with those squares. What I'm going to do is right click on the switch and click bring to front. So this gives you a feel for what it's gonna look like once you put it together, okay? One last thing that we need to do before we start cutting is to make our acetate or the clear window so that you can see the confetti within the screen of the switch. So this gray piece that you see over here, that is my screen or the clear acetate piece. And basically to do that, all I'm going to do is to click on this image right here. I'm going to make a duplicate of it, and then I'm going to change it to cut. So operation basic, which changed it to a green or a gray screen. I'm just going to change it to a light gray, and that's it. So I hope that you all were able to follow along with that. You can always come back and rewatch this video at a later time and slow it down so that you can follow the steps exactly. What I'm going to do now is to select everything on my right side and group it together just so that I can turn it off. And this right here, I do not see your post in the chat. It should be from our bird, Linda. There's a Dropbox link from our bird. That's me. You should be able to click on that link and access the SVG files. Hello, Coretta. Okay. If you're still having trouble, Linda, please let me know in the chat. But you should see a Dropbox link from our bird. That's my personal Gmail account. So you should be able to click on that link and find the SVG file. So what I'd like to do next is to save this project just in case Design Space closes out for any reason. And then I click on Make It. So we're going to see if there's anything, or just make sure that everything is the way that it needs to be before we start cutting out this project. So as you can see, this is the print and cut page. We have all three of our Marios. We have that image that's going to be that screen in the background. And then we also have Samuel, and we have level 9. And so scrolling down this gray screen, that's going to be our acetate that we cut. The black are all the different components of the cake topper, with these 3 pieces being the layer, to give us that 3D effect. And I'm just dragging some of these pieces around so that they can cut on the paper. You can leave them how they were, but I like to put my paper on my Cricut mat, just up and down or vertically. So what I would do is to just drag this piece down, drag this piece over also. And I am using 8.5 by 11 paper. So then I would just rotate this and bring it over, making sure that it doesn't go beyond the 8.5. In just a second, I'm going to show you all the materials that I'll be using. And again, I have already cut out my cake topper, and I did it for the sake of time. So I hope that you all are still able to follow along with me, even though I have already cut out all my pieces. So this is the black sheet. That's what that would look like. This is the blue sheet for that one of the sides, or the left side of the Nintendo Switch. And then the red, this is the right side of that Nintendo Switch. So again, if y'all have any questions, please put them in the chat. That's one of the purposes of having a live class, so that you can ask questions in real time and get a real-time response. Okay, so going back to the print then cut screen, all that you need to do is to click continue. And before I continue, I want to just go ahead and show you all the materials that I'm going to be using. Okay, so I'm going to click over to, I hope that y'all can see my hands over here. So these are all the materials that I will be using to make this cake topper. Give me just a second. I want to make sure that my mic is close to me so that you all can still hear me good. Okay. So yeah, these are all the materials I'll be using for the cake topper. I do have this paper. So this is the glossy inkjet paper that I'm using. And this is what it looks like right here. It is 65 pounds. I get it from Amazon, and it's on my Amazon storefront. And yeah, 65 pounds. And this is the paper right here. And this right here is the regular cardstock that I'm using. This is a little texture cardstock, and I got it from Hobby Lobby. But you can see where I already cut out my pieces, or if you have scrap sheets of cardstock that you want to use, you can do that also. Okay, so that's the cardstock. And then over here, I do have my confetti already mixed up. And I just have some red and blue and gold and white confetti in there, which is, you know, like some of those colors that you find in that picture that we're using as the screen for the cake topper. And then over here, I do have 2 different types of acetate. So I do have this Cricut brand acetate, and this is a heavier duty acetate. It is, I think this one only comes with, 6 sheets, and it is 12 by 12. And this is where I cut out, if you can see that square that has been cut out. So this is really heavy duty acetate. I like it because it's so sturdy. And if you're making something like boxes, like this box that you see on there, I think it's perfect. But then this right here is also some transparency film that you can use. And it is a little bit more lightweight than the Cricut acetate, but it also gets the job done. There are way more sheets. There are 30 sheets in here. And yeah, I think this right here is the best bang for your buck. and it is 8.5 by 11. The Cricut paper is 12 by 12 inches. So that's that. And also have this double-sided foam tape. This foam tape is very thin, as you can see. It's very, very thin, which is good for these types of cake toppers. Okay. Then I also have this thick double-sided foam tape. And I have these double-sided foam squares from Dollar Tree. And I also have my Barely Art glue as well, and some double-sided adhesive tape. Okay, so everybody's following along well. So going back over to my screen, you should now be starting to cut out your different pieces. So when you're ready to cut out your pieces, what you need to do is click Send to Printer. I always turn on the bleed, the bleed is on, and then also click the Use System Dialog button, and then click Print. You will need to minimize your screen, and you should get a pop-up screen from Cricut. Okay, here it is. So this is the print and cut screen. And then what you need to do is to click on Media and Quality. And I will say that I do have the Epson EcoTank 2850 printer. And I am going to click here on Media Type and click Photo Glossy Paper. And then I would click Print and follow through with the rest of those steps. Okay. So then once you have print and cut, you would come back here once your design has been printed, click on medium cardstock and print or cut your design as you normally would, and then just do the same thing for the rest of your materials. This right here is the acetate. You would click Browse All Materials over in the top right corner and type in acetate. Click on that, and then cut out that acetate, and then come back over here to your cardstock, and then just click on medium cardstock and cut out the rest of your pieces. So what I'm about to do now is to show you how to assemble this cake topper. For the sake of time, I could not show you the process of cutting out all the different pieces, but once you get all your pieces cut out, you can come back to this video at a later time and assemble it the way that I'm going to show you how to. So what I'm going to do now is to show you all the pieces and then start putting this thing together. Okay, so these are all of my pieces that have been cut out. I'm gonna clean up my space just a little bit. I do have this this little stick that I use at the back of the cake topper. It's like a clear prism. That's what I use to super glue to the back of the cake topper. So yeah, I'm just about to start putting this thing together. Chris asked the question, okay, so you can set up several different pieces at the same time. What do you mean by set up different pieces at the same time, Chris? Are you saying cut out different pieces at the same time? Let me know in the chat. Okay, so again, these are all the pieces that have been cut out. I have my 3 Marios right here. I have the level 9, which was the print and cut, but then I also have the 2 pieces that will go on the back of the level 9 to give it a 3D effect. This is that screen that will be the screen for the Nintendo Switch. This is the acetate, the clear piece that will go on top of the cake topper. So essentially, what we're going to do to create the shaker component of this cake topper is we're going to put this down, put some of that double-sided foam tape around it, put our confetti on the inside and then put this clear piece on the top of it. You have Samuel in those different pieces. I only have one piece for Samuel. Maybe I just cut out one piece for him, but that's okay. And then this is the actual switch itself with the 3 backup pieces. This is that screen. You just show those different. So Chris, you're asking the question, sorry, set up different pieces, different cut pieces at the same time. Okay, and so these are the last pieces for the switch, the left and the right sides. Yeah, so Chris, what I was showing you on this screen was basically me. I was showing you how I have all the different pages set up to cut. You know, I have the red and the blue and the black and the printing cut. So you can set that up however you want to. And then for each piece that you cut out, you can change the type of materials that you cut. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to zoom in and start putting this thing together. So I like to start with these 3 pieces first. So what I'll do is to take this double-sided tape, take my scissors, and just put it onto the back of this piece. And let me zoom out some because I want to make sure that you all are seeing everything that I'm doing. I'm going to turn my camera around just a little bit. So I hope that helps. Okay. So taking my double-sided tape, putting it down. Okay. And then I'm going to tear off that paper backing. And if y'all have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat. So this is what that looks like. Then I'm going to take another piece and layer it on top. Try to get it as center and horizontal as possible. And for the sake of, you know, allowing you all to see what I'm doing, just kind of moving through this a little quickly. So do the same thing with that next piece. Cut your double-sided tape and just put it this way this time. There's no reason why I'm switching the direction of it this time. But yeah, so cut it and then put it on there. So I'm going to remove the paper. Sorry. Remove the paper backing. Okay. And then put that last piece on there. Okay. So this is what that looks like. Yeah. So next what I'll do is to go ahead and start with Samuel. For this one, I'm going to use these little pop dots. And if you all can hardly hear me, please let me know. I want to make sure that y'all are following along with me. So for Samuel, I'm just going to use these little pop dots to put them on there. No, it's way too many. Okay. Press them on there firmly and then remove the paper backing. And I will say that this process does get a little messy because I have little pieces of paper all over the place when I'm finished. So, yeah. So that's what that looks like. Then I'm going to take the name Samuel and just try to line it up on top of there, and then press down firmly. Okay, so this is what that looks like. Okay, sit that to the side, and then do the same thing with level 9. Okay, so I'm going to take my little pop dots, place them where I want them. Okay. Press down firmly, and then you will remove the paper backing from each of the pieces. Okay, take the other level 9 and then layer that on top. Okay, okay, Linda, I see your message. Hopefully you can get it figured out. But if you're subscribed, you can leave a message on one of my other videos, or you can also go to my website, Inside Outline, and sign up to my email list, and that way you will always get emails that have the SVG files and everything else. Okay, so this is what that one looks like. I'm going to continue to put the rest of the pop dots on there. And remove the paper backing. And I'm kind of just throwing the little paper to the side. Okay. Alrighty. So then take the level 9 and layer that on top also. Okay. So I will say that, and if you've seen that image that I use in my emails showing you the cake topper, I actually cut out each of these different colors in cardstock. So if you don't have a printer, you can adapt so that you can cut out each one of these different pieces in cardstock. It is a little bit more tedious, and you have to kind of layer everything up, but that's an option as well. So finally, I'm going to do Mario and take a couple of these pop dots and put them on him, and peel off the paper backing. And then layer this on top of it. And you can put a few more of these little pop dots or stickers or adhesive, double-sided adhesive foams. You can put more than I'm putting on here, but just trying to quickly show you how to do this. Going to remove the paper backing again, and then layer this on top. Okay, so now you kind of get that 3D effect, especially with the Mario, like that. So all of those pieces are done, and next we want to move over to the shaker component. So with this Cricut brand acetate, I do need to, can I find the SVG in Design Space? Linda, unfortunately, Design Space will not allow me to share the design that I uploaded. If it was a design that was already in Design Space, I would be able to share it. Put your, I'm trying to think about the best way to accommodate you right now. The only other thing that I can tell you is to go online to my website, insideoutline.com, and I'll put that link down in the chat. and sign up to my free resource library. I did put the SVG file in the free resource library. So you can sign up there and get the link to the SVG file as well. So give me just a second while I pull up my site and get that link to the free resource library, and then you can log in there to get the design. I'm so sorry that you're having this issue, but again, you will be able to come back and watch this video at a later time to, you know, make this cake topper for yourself. So I just put the link to my free resource library in the chat. I don't know if you can see that or not, but again, my website is insideoutlined.com, and once you get there, you should see a link to sign up to the free resource library. So what I did was to take off the paper. The Cricut paper or acetate comes with just this little plastic on both sides. What I did was to take that off, and now you can see this looks a little bit more clearer and not foggy. What I want to do next is to glue this down to my cake topper. Okay, so I want to glue this down to my cake topper. So what I'll do is to get my double-sided tape, and that's what I want to use for this. Obviously you could use the Barely Art glue as well, but I'm just going to use my double-sided tape for this part. Put it on the back of the cake topper, or on the back of that image. Okay, so that's on the back, and I want to try to get it as center as possible, horizontally, so that when this piece goes on top, I think that looks really good. Okay, so this is now down. Okay, what we want to do next is to take our super thin double-sided foam tape and go around this rectangle. So that's what I'm going to do now. So take this tape, and one more thing that I want to say. Okay, yeah, so when I put this clear piece on top of the image, you want to make sure, so you don't want to put your foam tape too far down here, because your image is up here, and that's where the confetti is going to go inside. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So take my double-sided foam tape, and I'm just going to put it down and take my scissors to cut it where I want to cut it, and then down here I'm going to get it pretty close. I don't know if you can really see that. Get it really close right there, and then just bring it down and cut it again right here. Okay, so you can see what that looks like. So over here I'm going to do the same thing, and then cut it. Okay, so you see what that looks like, and then going to do it one more time. And then cut it right here. So this is what it should look like. And basically what we've done is to basically create like a barrier that our confetti can go inside of. And again, this is my confetti. I get my confetti from a variety of places. Dollar Tree and Michael's and wherever else I find it. So what I'm going to do right now is to just pour some of my confetti inside of the cake topper. So you see what that looks like. I will say don't put too much confetti inside because you want the cake topper to shake. But then too, if you put way too much confetti on the inside, you can't see the background image. So I do think that I'm probably going to make a mess when I do this. Just try to get some of this this confetti out. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Obviously, if this cake topper was bigger, we could get way more confetti inside of it. So what I'm going to do now is to remove the white paper backing on my adhesive or double-sided foam tape. So I'm going to be careful when I do this. And if y'all have any questions, please put those in the chat for me. You're welcome, Linda. Once you sign into the free resource library, it's one of the first SVG files at the top. It should be called like Super Mario Shaker Cake Topper or something like that. So again, I'm just peeling off the paper backing. So now it's sticky. So then all that you need to do is to take your clear acetate and to put it on top of the adhesive. So I'm going to try to do this. I'm trying to hold it up to the screen and do it at the same time. I will say that some of this confetti that I have is very lightweight, and it does start to like pick up to the adhesive. But I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to put it down and try to do this, and then I'll pick it back up and bring it closer to the screen. So I'm sitting it down, but try to put that okay. So I put that adhesive on there, or the acetate. I'm sorry if I'm mixing up my terms. I put the acetate on there, and then what I'm doing is to just press down on the sides to make sure that it's sticking. And some of my double-sided foam is still exposed, and that's okay. But for the most part, this is how it's supposed to work. Okay? So you can still see the image in the background, but now you have some confetti in there also. So next, what we want to do is to just take our the black piece, and if you want to, you can just go ahead and put these pieces on first. So I think I will do that. This is where I'm going to use my tape or my barely art glue. This is where this is going to come in handy. So I'm just going to flip it over and put some glue on there. Okay, and just put that where it goes. Okay, I think that the red goes on this side. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, you get the gist of what I'm trying to do. And so take my glue again. And flip this over. Wait, I may have did this. Oh, I put the glue on the wrong side. Or did I? I think I put the glue on the wrong side. So please don't be like me. This is embarrassing. I don't own a Switch. So I don't really know what the buttons look like, but don't be like me and put the buttons on the wrong side. I put my glue on the wrong side, so my glue should be on this side so that those buttons can kind of line up together. But I'm just gonna keep moving with this. Just don't make that mistake like I did, okay? So yeah, that's that part, okay? And this is what that's gonna look like. So it looks really cool, huh? Yeah. So then what I'm going to do is to take some of my double-sided tape. I'm going to take the stick one. You can also use the pop dots or the little dots also, but I'm just going to do this one and put 2 pieces down. Okay, peel the paper backing off. And then going to put this down. So I'm going to sit this on my table so that I could get this pretty straight. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I think that this is really, really cool. So that's the biggest part of the cake topper. What I did next on that image, I think level 9 was at the top and Samuel was at the bottom, or it could have been reversed. But I do have my glue gun over here, and I'm going to use that to just add these other pieces on. So this is my glue gun that I'm using. Just going to, I think I'm going to put Samuel on top. So just going to take my glue gun, put a layer of glue at the top, and then just stick his name up there and hold it in place for just a second so that it can adhere. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Kind of hold that in place so that it will stay. Okay, and then I'm going to put Mario over to the side, and it looks like I could probably stick one of his, so instead of putting him on top of the cake topper, I could probably like glue his foot or one of his foots or one of his feet back behind there like that. So I think I like how that looks. So I'm just going to flip his foot up and glue this part down. Okay, and then I'm going to just glue his arm up here. I'm going to glue that on too, just so that it's steady. Thank you, Chris. Okay, so this is the shaker cake topper. Obviously, you can modify it however you want, but this is what the finished cake topper looks like. So what I'm going to do now is to just flip it over and put this clear prism on the back side of it. And I will tell you that all the supplies that I've used in this video are linked in my Amazon shop. So once this video is over, I will go in and just paste the link to my Amazon shop in the chat so that you can see all the files. What I like to do is to take this prism. There's a flat side right here. Probably can't tell, but I'm going to just put the glue on that flat side. And then take the stick and stick it in the back. put a little pressure on it, and that is it. Okay, so that's the final result. Okay, so here I am. You can see my lights over there for my setup. So here I am. This is the cake topper that I just made. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I always tend to go over an hour just by a little bit, but I try to stay as close to 1 hour as possible. So this is the cake topper that we just got finished making. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Chris asked the question, did I buy permission to use the Mario image? Then you can sell the cake toppers indefinitely. No, I did not buy the rights to, use this Mario image. It's just one of those things, if you're making cake toppers for family, friends, or whoever, you can just use the image. And so I don't think it's a big deal. I think I do know that there are copyright laws and stuff that, you can't just go around using images to make money from them. So I will say to just do your research and make sure that you're not breaking any copyright infringement laws. So if you were going through this video, but again, once you get access to the SVG files, you can always come back and watch this video. So if there are any last minute questions or comments, go ahead and put those in the chat. But overall, you can make this cake topper. I mean, we've been on this class for about an hour. So I would say you can make a cake topper like this within about an hour and 15 minutes. Some people do sell, if you get on Instagram, you see a lot of people selling like the Pringles cans with Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and all the other cartoon characters. I'd say to just use your best judgment to what you want to do if you want to sell any of these things. Quite honestly, I do sell cake toppers like this to family and friends who want to buy them. So just use your best judgment. So yeah, that's all that I have. Oh no, that's fine. Thank you. So thank you all for spending your Saturday morning with me, and be sure to come back and watch this video later once you have all the supplies. Again, I will put a link to my Amazon storefront in the chat so that y'all can get the actual supplies or the exact supplies that I use. So thank you.